good morning, depending on where you're watching when from. Okay, let's start off with where we're positioned in terms of our dimensional perception. We're stuck in this three-dimensional state. We only see up, down, breadth, depth. Yep, so we've got three dimensions to choose from when it comes to how we look at the world around us. Then there's time, which is added into the mix very often as the fourth dimension. And so we have the three dimensions of space and the one dimension of time. That's it. As far as orthodox science is concerned, that's where we sit, and we're stuck with it, and there is nowhere else to go. So we might as well just get used to the idea that anything else is pseudoscience and woo. However, there is the quantum world to consider, and most of us, certainly if you're watching this video, you're considering how the quantum world fits into the equation and how we can marry the two in our minds in some way that makes kind of sense. So let's get 3D on the board, just because I like to keep up with myself. 3D plus time. Wasn't very well written, really, was it? Then, of course, you've got to add superposition in, because scientists know that superposition applies to everything. In essence, every construct of what you're made of, your electrons, your quarks, the fabric of your atoms, are in two places at once. At least two places at once, all the time. So this continuous stream of superposition gives us infinite hidden variables of where we may be placed at any particular point in time. Now, there was a debate recently in the quantumology group as to how this perception marries up. Now we've also got superposition to contend with, and superposition seems to be the place where, I think I've already covered this. I've already done superposition. Yeah, it's the more than two places at once thing, which is really where this ball fits in, because this ball could have been anywhere in its journey, but it ended up here and now on a video with me. So I'm very lucky, because it's a great ball. So after superposition, then we have wave-particle duality. Wave-particle duality essentially ensures that we sit in particle format only at this particular moment in time. The rest of the time we're a waveform. This stands to reason because it's been substantially proven, as far as possibly it can be, that the wave packet collapses into particle format. A photon is a wave and doesn't ever become a particle, really.
Except when it's under experimental observation.
It doesn't have to. It travels at the constant, the speed of light, the as far as we are aware, fastest speed known in the universe. But at the end of the day, it's massless. It doesn't have any mass in which to collapse, and it prefers to exist, probably reasonably informed to say, as a waveform. We, on the other hand, are much more wedded to 3D and time, so we live in a particle existence, which is what we take for granted. However, because it doesn't exist all the time, this means that our propensity for change and our potential to do more than is infinitely, continuously there and present in our world. We're not constrained in any way to anything other than the context of what we imagine our reality to be, could be, and believe that it will be. our belief comes into play in order to collapse the waveform into the reality that conforms with what we believe to be the truth, to be where we are, to be who we are, what we are, when we are. And this confirmation comes about because we live in 3D reality, hence the constraint of our brain to comprehend that as all there is. So now we can come to entanglement. And entanglement ensures, from what I can gather of it, that everything is connected in some way. And that makes sense of the philosophy of oneness, the single consciousness, and the theory of interconnectivity that seems to pervade a lot of areas of quantum mechanics. And this is a wild rabbit, and he's been with me since September, so how many months is that? 2 months? And he was a little kit still drinking milk when he rushed out of a hedge and was orphaned basically by machinery. So as far as rabbitry is concerned, I'm very lucky that I've been allowed to have him, because he's an amazing little creature. And if entanglement has anything to do with the fact that he and I have ended up sharing lives, then that's pretty magical as far as I'm concerned. And I think as far as he's concerned too, because he don't half love his cuddles. After entanglement in this little list comes in uncertainty, and the uncertainty principle has to have some kind of relationship with uniqueness, surely. Everything is unique. This little pigeon is unique, I'm unique, and you're unique, and so is everything else. Even things that are manufactured are unique. In their atomic structure, they will be slightly different from each other. Every moment in time is also unique, so there's no repetition there. Everything that we do is never exactly the same as every other time we did it, or we'll do it again. And that's just down to quantum realms. That's what they do. That's how they govern us. This little youngster here was also picked up as a result of machinery interfering with the nest site. And she's growing into quite a handsome young bird from a very, very young chick who didn't have much in the way of feathers. Did you? No, you didn't. And they inevitably poo on you. Pigeons they just do that kind of thing. It's in their nature. Uncertainty, uniqueness, yeah. The uniqueness of each life form, the uniqueness of our path. Only we can live our own path. There is no other way that it can possibly be. So uncertainty is our friend because it guards our uniqueness. It makes sure that not only is our track one on its own, but the variables that are open to us to take are also one on their own, only applicable to us. So you can take the universe personally. Synchronicity will vouch for that. And hooting in the background was Wall. As we come to the last one, Polarity. In this little list of rigid zone, times, zones, things, the edge of the reason of how we exist. And he's also unique, of course, and his waveform carried him into my existence, and my existence carried my waveform into his existence, and so on and so forth. And so all these things extrapolate into our reality zone. This is what we are having to deal with every day, and the sooner we get a handle on what it means, the easier life becomes. Polarity then. Ooh. It's okay, pigeon's over there, so yeah. He's blind, fortunately, or unfortunately for him, but fortunately for this situation. Negativity, do we have a penchant for it? Well, electrons are negatively charged, and electrons are the only things we come into contact with. We don't get any contact at all in the atomic sense with anything but electrons, because they guard the core of the nucleus. So that negatively charged things that go around the outside of atoms guard the positive and neutral nucleus. So no chance there then. But positrons that do come into the equation, because positrons flick in from somewhere else, some other dimension that we don't know about. So let's not go there, scientists. Yeah, you haven't gone there, have you? Positrons come in from somewhere and get annihilated by electrons, and that produces a lot of energy. Positivity, does positivity come from positrons? Why not? Makes sense. The electron being negatively charged, we are drawn towards the ground state, just like the electron is. Let's just not do anything here. Let's just be very lazy and inert and go into nothingness. That's negativity. Positivity wants creativity and spontaneity and things to happen, and bang, let's do this and let's do that and let's have fun. Yeah, make hay while the sun shines. This is positivity. So if we can garner positivity into our existence more often, then we have a better chance of enjoying our life track. We are put where we are put in order to learn from and enjoy, as far as possible, the life path that we've been given. There can be no other real fundamental foundation to our being here. So polarity is important. We need to understand it. So ultimately then, what questions does that answer in terms of our existence, if any? I mean, does it help with the way we live our lives? Does it give us any more insight into what we should be doing with our time? How we should be using it? You know, how well? And in what way? Well, essentially, I suppose it comes down really to how you feel about our potential while we're existing in this particle reality, and also what happens to us after we die. Because after we're gone from this particle reality, do we still carry the information with us that we've been gathering during this existence that we've been given? And how much of this existence was free will, and how much was down to influence, and how much is down to circumstances? Anybody's guess. We've got a lot of stuff to deal with here. This is the quantum realm, and it's not going to say goodbye to us in a hurry. So where does this come from? Where does this go? I would guess that when we die, we go where we think we're going to go, because the hidden variables give us a lot of options here. We can believe pretty much anything we like, and there have been institutions that have really wanted us to believe certain things in certain ways. And who's to say they're wrong, and who's to say that's not a reality, and that those things aren't really actually there? They may well be there. Does that mean we want to follow them? Does that mean we want that particular truth? Is that particular truth resonant with us? Do we have a particular slant in another direction, perhaps, that makes more sense to us? The infinite hidden variables give us the option, the opportunity to explore exactly what we want to explore of our lives and make what we will of the opportunities given to us. But one thing is for sure. If we have positive thoughts and we invest positive energy into the things that we do, we are more likely to open ourselves up to opportunity and things that can come our way, yes, well, and be part of our existence because we willed them to be so. Negativity will lead in the other direction. Negativity will lead to inertia. Inertia means that we miss opportunities. We ignore things that could potentially be happening to us. We don't even get out of the house, for Christ's sake. So if we choose negativity, we're going to constrict and constrain our options. If we choose positivity, we're going to expand and extrapolate our opportunities. Simple as that. So there I'm going to leave this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's not too long, and I hope all sorts of things, but most of all I hope that you have a lovely life and that you enjoy everything that the quantum realms has to offer to you and to everyone else. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.